Good morning. It is what time? I don't remember. It is 8:11 a.m. on Tuesday, November 21st, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, yesterday I mostly just hung around, ran some errands with my mom, grocery shopping and such. The cheesy sweet potato recipe that I talked about, was that just last week? I think so. I'm gonna make that for Thanksgiving to accompany all of the other um, dishes. And then also, my brother and his wife just bought a house, and so I went over and I got to see it for the first time. It was dark, but it was really nice. And it's like it's a starter house, and it has a whole big, huge, full basement. And my gut reaction to it, having lived in apartments for almost 20 years, I guess 20 years if you're including the college uh, uh, part. It just seemed like an unmanageable amount of space. Like, what do you even do? You have entire large rooms that's like, yeah, we don't know what we're going to do with this enormous space. And at the same time, I mean, obviously, the whole part of the plan is that you grow into it, right? And having gotten used to making do with less space, it's like, I guess that's part of what's, I suppose people, it's some people want the lack of space, so that, you hear about these tiny houses that just seems so silly to me. I mean, it's one thing if, due to finances, you find yourself needing to live in a very, very small house and making the best of it. Sure, why not? But the idea of seeking it out is just, that's silly. That's silly. But, I suppose people should be allowed to do what they want in that regard. Um, so I went to, over there, and we were picking up some, transporting furniture, but it was all just like lawn furniture, so not really too strenuous in terms of carrying. And then all went out to dinner, and it was good. It was good, yeah, it was good. It's good. My morning was brightened a little bit by getting a great email from someone that, back when I originally did Space Casey, um, I I'm trying to remember exactly the timeline, but I guess there was a father who asked that I send a message to his daughter, who was recovering from a traffic accident and who had really enjoyed Space Casey, and so I did. And this was years ago, and I was just um, the father that sent me the request sent me an email this morning just to say he was reminded of Space Casey recently and thought that I would enjoy knowing that his daughter is fully recovered and has now had a new baby. And I'm like, oh, hey, awesome. That's cool. And it just, it's sort of a, follow up thank you. And that's great. And part of what it had me thinking about, though, is just remembering again how I've not really been super creatively productive this year. And I, not only in general, for the last several years, what I need to be better at is with my writing, not only doing the writing to begin with, but getting stuff to a point where I can actually show it to people and it becomes a thing instead of just something that lives on my hard drive. And that's where I've actually been struggling for years. But then on top of that, this year has not been super productive generally anyway. I think that's a lot of people's experience from, if Twitter is to be believed. But, I do have projects and I just need to work on them more, I guess. That's the thing. It does get to a point where it's like, well, if you're not still doing it, at which point is it a case of, you know, are you a writer or did you used to be a writer? That sort of thing. But I don't want to over stress that element of it as much as to just say it was a really nice message and it's got me just feeling like, oh, I need more of that. I need more. I need to release more stuff so that more people can be my fans. Anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes. How about that?